So that's just some of the international reaction. Let's bring in Louis Fishman. He's an assistant professor of history at Brooklyn College, City University of New York, and that is, in fact, where he is joining us from. Thanks for speaking to us on Al-Jazeera. So it's been the policy for 20 years to move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, but not to implement that policy. Is that about to change?
Yeah, it actually looks like it is, and if it does, it's a reckless decision. That's not well thought out. You know, this is not good for U.S. policy in the region. This is not good, I would even argue, for Israel, and it's certainly terrible for the Palestinians. So on all levels, this is a bad decision, and it's only catering to a really small group in the United States, evangelicals. I might add that the majority of American Jews are against this move at this time, and the majority, like the world, they want to wait till a final status of Jerusalem is discussed between Palestinians and Israel, because any recognition of, any moving the embassy to Jerusalem, let's be clear here, recognizes Israel's sovereignty over the east part also, which was annexed by Israel unilaterally in 1980. So this is a big move, and it's a dangerous move that could cause mass unrest.
But are you saying that he's going to undo decades of U.S. policy on Jerusalem just to cater to that base of his, the evangelical Christians? I mean, how likely is it that they actually abandon him if he doesn't make this declaration?
Well, let's say this was a campaign promise, and we know that Trump himself is not the status quo Republican president. I mean, numerous presidents have promised to move the embassy to Jerusalem. If he does move it to Jerusalem, well, he will be, he will break with the status quo in the Republican Party. Let me say, it's just not evangelical Christians. It's other, far-right groups in the United States. But it's really out of, it is breaking the status quo of both Republicans and Democrats in the United States. So yeah, I would once again say it's a reckless decision. And it might serve Israel in the short term. Israel, Netanyahu will get, some kind of sense of support from the United States. But for the peace process, this is just terrible. Now, that's even if there's not mass unrest tomorrow. A lot of people are saying, tomorrow there's a day of rage declared by the Palestinian factions. Even if that does not happen, which is a good scenario.
In fact, there are 3 days of rage that are being declared by Palestinian factions in the occupied West Bank. But let me put something to you that you have said. You said that moving the embassy to Jerusalem will cause yet another blow to Israel-American-Jewish relations. How so?
Yeah, of course, because, the American Jews, recently we're seeing that Netanyahu less and less cares what they think. Now, remember, they've been major supporters for Israel for years. So such a move is a slap in their face also. The far majority of Jews want to wait for a final status. Let's also be clear here once again and say that no one is denying that, of the American Jews, that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. But they do believe that in a final status, that East Jerusalem might be, or would be East Jerusalem. So they're holding back on it. Everyone knows that the capital of Israel today is in Jerusalem. That's where the Knesset is. That's where the laws are made. Okay, but international recognition of this is breaking with a long status quo. And that definitely will be a major blow to the Palestinians. I argue also to people that are really looking forward to some kind of peace process in Israel also. This is just more, causing more tension, and unfortunately for the Israeli left, which almost doesn't exist today, I might add.
All right.
This is also a major blow.
Louis Fishman, we thank you for speaking to us from New York.